So this is my first time streaming. I've been up for 24 hours trying to figure out how to set up this podcast, how to get all this shit going, how to put my logo at the bottom, how do I connect my iPhone to my computer to get a better look at me. So that's what I've been going on. I'm trying to figure out, should I wait till I get my haircut tomorrow? Things like that. Stuff been crazy. And I need me an Ethernet cord. So you can see my stuff lagging a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it a G and keep going. Today we're gonna do YouTube University. I call it YouTube University because I learned everything off YouTube. I learned how to cook off YouTube. I learned how to change brakes off YouTube. How to do a brake, how to motherfucking do my battery on YouTube. I learned how to do everything on YouTube. Fix an iPhone on YouTube. I learned business on YouTube. I got Alliant credit off of YouTube. So a lot of stuff I did off YouTube. So we're gonna keep doing this YouTube University. Today is gonna be about building business credit, 15K approval, and credit card into cash. That's what we're going on today. We're gonna look at other people videos. I'm gonna review them, and if I feel however I feel, that's just how I feel. But I can't really say if I ain't did it yet. But that's how we gonna rock and roll. The first video is gonna be about getting approved with Dell. But the reason I like this video is because he's showing you how to build your credit before he show you how to get approved. That's a big step. So that's what we got going on right now. And let's get into it. See what's going on. Let me try to get this together real quick. Be patient with me. I'm a beginner.
You're approved with a credit limit of $15,000. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a credit account that you can get with absolutely no hard credit check, and no social security number is required whatsoever. And this is going to be the Dell business credit. This is an actual line of credit that you can use to purchase Dell equipment. Now, they have two different types of accounts. They have a personal account and a business account. So in today's video, we're going to focus on the business account. But before we go into the business account, I wanted to go over some quick data points on what you need in order to get approved. All right. So in terms of where they're pulling from, they're going to be pulling your Experian business credit score. So what you can do before you apply, what you want to do, you want to go to either NAV, or you can go directly to Experian.com, which I'll show you, where you can see where your IntelliScore is. Now, Experian uses an IntelliScore from a minimum of 1 all the way up to 100. And in order to get approved, you want to be somewhere in the low to medium risk. Experian is where you're actually going to get your business credit IntelliScore in real time. So real quickly, this is the range of scores, again, from 1 to 100. And you want to be somewhere in the, again, low to medium risk or low risk. So low to medium risk is going to be from 51 to 75, and low risk is going to be 76 to 100. Now, as you can see, I'm actually going to walk you guys through, but mine is currently at a 94. Now, again, this is not a starter vendor. So if you have zero business credit history, you won't get approved for this. You do need some accounts already reporting to your Experian before you could apply to this. Now, I typically recommend having at least 5 trade lines reporting. And if you don't know where you can get 5 trade lines, we'll go over that at the end of the video. Now, another thing that we know about this particular Dell line of credit is that it's issued by WebBank, which is the same bank as Capital on Tap. And as you guys know, Capital on Tap just does a soft pull of your business Experian as well as your personal Experian. Now, another benefit, there's no hard personal credit check, and this is only going to report to business credit. So you don't have to worry about this showing up on your personal credit report or even getting an inquiry. Now, one of the things I like about the Dell business line of credit is that they have these special promotional financing offers where you get no interest if you pay within 90 days on select items. And you also get 3% back in Dell rewards. And there's also a 5,000 bonus point reward for new accounts. Now, again, they have a business account and a personal account. So we're not talking about personal accounts.
So I'm gonna tell you the jig on this real quick. Okay, you say you get Dell, you can go get Dell equipment. People that be out here jugging, they go get businesses and they get people EINs and they get people info and they get loans and they get financing from Dell. So when they go to Dell and they go get that finance and they go get 50 laptops or 50 computers, and then they go sell them on the street. It's a lot of dirty shit going on with this business credit stuff. So you be having to see what's going on. Sometimes people just be down and bad with their luck. So they have to do things like this so they can go ahead and get up. But we're going to get back to the video.
Personal accounts are actually through a completely different financial institution. Now, applying for the Dell business line of credit is very easy, and you can actually get an instant decision. So you'll know immediately whether or not you're approved. There's no interest if paid within 90 days. In eligibility, you must be a U.S. commercial customer and have a federal tax ID number, otherwise an EIN. And again, this is designed for businesses at all stages. So it doesn't matter if, you've only been around for a couple months or.
But with this kind of stuff, you can do it the legal way and you can do it the illegal way. But if you do decide to do it the illegal way, make sure you got you some crash dummies. You can't be the crash dummy. Or you can be the crash dummy. I don't know what you're going through. You might want to be the crash dummy, but this like the shit for crash dummies. Like, you can be wise enough and you can know all the game on how to do this shit. But shit, you want to be the one on camera picking that shit up, or you want to be the one, it's big shit going on with this too. You gotta know what's going on. I'm just trying to give you the game on as we watch this. There's certain games on what's going on.
You've been around for a couple of years. And as I stated, this is going to be through Web Bank, right? So Web Bank is the underwriter, and basic business information, legal business name, your street address, business phone number, business type. So whether you're a partnership, sole prop, C Corp, S Corp, you're going to enter in your tax ID number. And then you're also going to enter in your first name, last name, phone number, email. And that's pretty much it. As you can see, they're not asking you for a social security number or anything like that. Now, one other important factor I want to let you guys know is that you want to make sure that the address that you put on the application is the same address that's listed on your business credit report on Experian, as well as with the Secretary of State. So on the next page, there's just a bunch of different disclosures. So what you want to do is scroll all the way to the bottom, check this box right here, and then hit submit. Dang, this is taking forever. I hate when it takes this long because you don't know if it's good or bad. All right, so it says your approved credit limit, $15,000, interest rate 25.24%. Now, once you get approved for your Dell business line of credit, you can use your line of credit immediately. Now, let's say you don't have business credit established and you just started your LLC. One thing you can do is.
Now, what I was talking about is if you're not using your shit, if you're using other people's shit, and you can't get a business line of credit, you can get merchandise and you can boom merchandise or certain things in that category. You know what I'm saying? But business line of credit is better than credit cards. Business line of credit is cash. Like, that's cash. Like, you can do so much with business line of credit.
Build vendor credit, and it's very easy to add just a couple of accounts. Wait till those accounts report, and then you can apply for different accounts such as Dell, Samsung, Home Depot, Floor and Decor, as well as a host of other vendors. Now, in 2024, there's a ton of accounts to report to business credit, but I just want to give you 5 basic ones that anyone can sign up to, and it's a guaranteed approval. Now, so you can sign up for all of these today and get the process started for your business credit to get established. The first one I always recommend is NAV. NAV is just a subscription that gets reported to your business credit report. Then you have Crown Office Supplies. So Crown Office Supplies, again, it's another one of these net 30s. Now, again, with the net 30s, do they overcharge a little bit on some of the products? Absolutely. Now, I would always say this is just a means to an end. So what you can do, you can apply for the net 30, order a couple items, wait till it reports, and then you don't have to use it again. The next one I like is Office Garner. Office Garner also has a net 30 account. So this is a net 30 trade line that is going to report on your business credit. Then you have the Business T-shirt Club, which is now called Branded Apparel Club. Again, they will report to the business credit reporting agencies, CEO Creative. So if you add these 5 accounts to your business credit, you probably want to wait anywhere from, let's say, 45 to 60 days, because you have to wait till these report. If you sign up today and then go apply to like second tier types of accounts, you're going to get denied because they're not reporting yet. You have to wait until that reporting cycle actually hits. and then you can go back, get second tier types of business credit accounts. Now, in terms of the Dell business line of credit, again, this is not a starter vendor account. You do need some established trade lines on your Experian report. Now, you can always go to NAV, get your Experian IntelliScore, but better yet, Experian.com is going to give it to you in real time, whereas NAV may only update it once a month or once every 45 to 60 days. So if you want your real-time accurate business credit score, you can go directly to Experian.com. Now, again, it does cost a little bit more to get your real-time reports, but it's going to give you accurate information before you decide to apply to different vendors. Now, in terms of some of the different products that you can get through Dell, things like desktop, laptop computers, monitors, they have server racks, storage components and things like that. And I've actually used Dell products in the past. And honestly, I like Dell much better than HP. I think they're a little bit more reliable. That's just my opinion. But again, there's a host of different items that you can get off of here using your Dell business line of credit. So again, you can leverage the Dell business line of credit, get technology. So if you're going to create content or even just to run your business, right, you're going to need a computer, different types of equipment. Some people could even purchase items off of here and resell them. So there's a lot that you can do with the Dell line of credit. Is going to give you access. They have different gaming PCs as well. They have a lot of electronics, webcams, networking, laptops, printers, scanners, different PC components and so forth. So you could definitely check that out. I think overall, this is a great vendor to have just in your back pocket. Even if you don't plan on using it, it can still help you with building business credit and moving up to the next level in terms of the different tiers that you can get business credit under. And the best part of it, there's no hard personal credit check, and it will report to your business credit profile. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Let me know your comments and questions down below. And until next time, take it easy and we'll.
So, yeah, and I'm sorry. I know my shit lagging. I ain't got no Ethernet right now. I'm gonna go get me an Ethernet after I take me a nap today. But this next video is about liquidating your credit. He gonna give you a little bit more game about liquidating your credit. It's not the same guy. I don't even know the name of these people. I'm just reading. Not even reading. I'm just watching videos. If I feel that it's good, if I feel it's bad, I let it go. If I feel it's good, I let it ride. So I guess let me see his name. His name Derek Boone. Whoever Derek Boone is, that's what we about to watch right now. See what's going on with Derek Boone. Derek Boone. Let me see what's going on.
Talking about today is how to actually utilize credit cards to buy property. And the reason why I wanted to take the time to make because we hear this all the time on Instagram. Use my credit card to buy this house. Use my credit card to buy this car. Do this. I use my credit card to do this. All these different things utilizing credit cards, but nobody ever actually takes the time to explain it because we only got 60 to 90 seconds on Instagram, and a lot of people really don't know what they're talking about. So I wanted to take this time to make this video to explain how we exactly buy properties, utilizing credit cards. As you guys know, I'm a real estate guy. I bought a whole bunch of houses, and a lot of these houses I utilize credit cards to do.
Again, y'all gotta be patient with me. I gotta get an Ethernet cord. I gotta get a lot of shit. I'm just starting off raw right now. If you've been watching my shit, everything is raw, uncut, and this shit really raw.
So I definitely know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna make this video, and I'm gonna show you guys how to use credit cards to buy houses. All right.
Houses.
That's the one of today's video. So
just
right, what happens is it's not the fact that we're actually swiping the credit card like we're at Target. We're liquidating the card. We are liquidating the card and then moving that money from the credit card into our checking account. And then we use the money from our checking account to cover the property, the cost for the property. But the other piece is what we do is we mix funding together. So let me break this down to you guys for 1 second.
Not to cut him off, but I'm going to give y'all a trick before he tell y'all his tricks. If y'all don't want to have to go to Shopify, y'all don't want to have to go through Apple, y'all don't want to have to go through all of them, go to Apple, go to Dell, or go to Microsoft. When you go to one of them companies, take your debit card and your credit card. If you got 20,000 on your credit card and you got 1,000 on your debit card, spend 19,000 on your credit card and spend 1,000 on your debit card, or spend 20,000 on your credit card and spend 1,000 on your debit card. Once you get your products or whatever you wanted, and you go back and you go to make your refund everything back on your debit card instead of your credit card. That's some sauce, but I'm gonna let him tell you some sauce too.
Yeah, right. So everybody got that, the credit cards using that to buy houses. So let me make some space on this board. I really should have did this video at my house with my vibe board and it's all big. I may redo it one day. But so what happens is we mix funding. So you got big funding and then you got smaller funding. You got big funding, you got smaller funding. So big funding is banks, hard money, things like that. So what we do is we allow the banks to cover the bigger portion of the property, and then the smaller funding, like credit cards, for the sake of this conversation, credit cards to cover the smaller portion. So what happens is when you work with hard money lenders or banks, usually they'll cover 80 to 90% of whatever the house costs. So let's say for the sake of this conversation, we're buying this house that costs $100,000, $100K, right? We're buying this house that costs $100,000. So what happens is when you work with a hard money lender or a bank, any type of big financing, they're going to cover 80%, which in this case, 80%, AKA $80,000. They're covering $80,000. So what that means is our down payment is now $20,000. So what a down payment is the money that is left over that the lender is not covering. So if you're buying a house for $100,000 and the lender is covering 90%, that means they're covering $90,000. If you work with a lender that's covering 70% of the purchase price, that means they're covering $70,000 if the house costs $100,000. So what's left over is your required down payment. So in this example, our required down payment is 20% because we got to make a whole 100. 80% is the bigger funding, 20% is the smaller funding, which is AKA 20K, right? Which is $20,000. So now our job is to get, and this is what we utilize when we mix the funding, when we blend the funding. A lot of people, if you're buying houses, now you're buying a house that's 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Yes, you can just go ahead and utilize a credit card to buy. You don't have to go ahead and get big funding. But a lot of people don't have $100,000 credit cards. There are credit cards out there like Chase that offer $100,000 limits, but the average person does not have access to that kind of line, though that kind of credit. So that's why we actually mix big funding with the smaller funding. And when people say, I bought this house with a credit card, it doesn't mean they bought the whole house with the credit card. They might have used their credit card to cover the down payment. So this is something I want you guys to understand. So when you're watching these things on Instagram or other YouTube videos, you're not like, how the hell are they doing this? This is how they're doing it. Big funding covers 80%, 90%, or 70%. And then the smaller funding covers the other 30, 20, or 10%. Got it? Our job now is to figure out where we're going to get our 20K from. So you can go to, let's say, bank like Chase. Chase pulls from Experian. You go to banks like KeyBank. They pull from Equifax. You go to banks like Truist. They pull from Equifax. Alliance Credit Union. They pull from Experian. And then sometimes TransUnion. Majority, I had TransUnion. Somebody told me they pull from, when I use them, they pull from Experian. And a lot of other people, they pull from Experian. But
not to cut him off again, I'm going to give you some game. He just said Experian multiple times, and said Equifax multiple times. My trick is to hit each one once. And then after I hit each one of them once, I'm hit each one of them twice. Now I hit each one of them twice, I'm hit each one of them 3 times. So now I got 3, 6, 9. I got 9 loans, or I got 9 business lines of credit, or I got 9 credit cards, or I got 9, whatever I have 9 of it. So if I go to a bank and they want to give me 100,000 and I got 9 banks, that's 900,000. So it's just on how you look at the game. But you do want to have less inquiries. So just make sure you hold your inquiry game down. So you can just hit once, 3 times each, and not 9 times one time or 6 times one time, but you can just hit them 3 times a piece, that go a long way.
I had a couple of people that said TransUnion, whether they was telling the truth or not, I don't know. But me personally, they pull from Experian. So these are a couple of banks that you can utilize. So, right, you can apply, and these are all banks that allow you to use business credit. So that means you can apply to all of these online. With banks like Chase, KeyBank, Truist, it's best that you open up an account and apply in person and build that relationship. But for the sake of conversation, you can apply to all of these online without having a bank account with them. You can 100% do that. But to get bigger lines, so when you ever hear somebody say, yo, I only got $10,000 from Chase, how you get $50,000? It's because they actually built a relationship. They might have opened up a bank account. They might have went through an actual bank rep. That way their reach went a lot further than you. But like I said, these are all you can apply directly online. I applied to all of these online. And well, KeyBank, I actually went in person, but these are all banks that you can apply and actually get approved for credit cards. And actually you may be able to get a line of credit from them, but these are definitely banks that you can get lines of credit from, and these are where they pull from. So our job is to go ahead and get access to credit from them to cover our down payment. So let's say you apply on Chase online. You apply for the Chase Inc. card, and you get 10K from them. Let's say you apply to KeyBank. Let's say you get a 20K from them. Let's say you apply for Truist, you get a 20K from them, and you apply to Alliance, you get a 10K from them. So now what happens is, right, you got a 10, you got a 20, that's 30. 30 and 20, that's 50. 50 and 10, that's 60. So now you have $60,000 available credit that you have. So now what our job is to do is figure out how to get the $60,000 off the credit card. Well, in this case, we only need $20,000. Get the $20,000 off the credit card to cover the down payment. So there's a couple different things that you guys can do to go ahead and cover the down payment. So, right, one of the things that you guys can do, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly do I want to erase, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a hot 5 seconds.
Learn to liquidate
screenshot this, to write this down, whatever, because I'm about to erase
right
this
now.
top piece. I'm about to erase this top piece. All right, 1, 2, 3,
cars in the cash
4,
and buy a house.
5. All right, you guys got it. And you can always rewind. So now our job is to liquidate the cars. So there's a couple different ways you guys can liquidate, right? One of the ways that you guys can liquidate, that I like to liquidate, is I work with, but you have to be in this type of room, in these type of environments. I know a lot of other business owners. I know a hell of a lot of business owners. I know a hell of a lot of business owners that actually making money. And I know some that's, making a little bit of money, but I know other business owners. So what me and my business owner friends do, we send each other invoices. So let's say, for example, this is me. This is Boom, right? And I call my friend Bob. And I say, hey, Bob, I need 20K. And Bob says, okay, I'm going to send you an invoice. Bob's going to send me an invoice for 20K, or Bob's going to send me an invoice for 10 and 10, right? So what I recommend doing is, and I'm going to break this down, don't do the whole lump sum, maybe break it down in 2 payments of 10, and I'm going to explain why. So what happens is Bob sends me an invoice of 10 and 10, 2 invoices for 10K. I utilize one of these credit cards or different credit cards, and I go ahead and pay. Let's say I use 10 from KeyBank, and I use 10 from Truist, or however I want to do it, 5 and 5, however I want to go and do it, and I pay the invoice. So I pay the invoice, and now Bob has 20K in his pocket from me paying the invoices. Subtracting fees, they might take 2.9%. So you have to understand that's a part of the game. So now what happens in 48 hours or 72 hours, that money is going to clear and be inside his bank account. Now what Bob is going to do is take that remaining money minus the fees. So let's say 19,000 or some change, and he's going to send it back to me, and he's going to issue this as he's issuing a refund. Hey, look, no longer wanting services, whatever the case may be, and issue it back to me. So now I just liquidated my credit cards. Now I have $20,000 back in my checking account from him issuing a refund and sending it back to me. So this is one of the ways, and this is called the invoice play. Now let me give you the pros and cons to this. The pros is you're able to liquidate the money. you're able to go ahead and it looks like you're getting some spend because now you're utilizing the credit card to pay for stuff. So now you're getting spend, might be getting points, different things like that. So that's the pro and pro regarding that. The cons are that if you're doing this with someone that isn't used to making money on their business merchant account, that their merchant account may freeze their account because this is the first time they ever got a $10,000, $20,000 payment, and it may look suspicious, and a merchant account may freeze, which is like Apple, PayPal, Stripe. Their merchant account may actually freeze and hold that money for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, maybe even 6 months, maybe even a year. So the way around it is you want to really vet your person. Hey, how much money are you, if you can answer this, how much money are you bringing through your merchant account, your Stripe, your QuickBooks, your PayPal? How much money? And if they're using PayPal, I just say don't do it. PayPal will hold money in a heartbeat. I just recommend don't. If they say they use PayPal, just say sorry. I'm gonna find somebody else. That's my personal opinion. PayPal will hold money for a long time. PayPal held my money for a long.
All right, so buddy, he just gave us some good game. I ain't gonna lie. He gave us some game, but some better game is go to them stores I told you. Use your debit card and your credit card. Refund the money back on your debit card. That's the game. That's the easiest game. You ain't got to worry about Shopify, PayPal. You ain't got to worry about asking your friend how much money they put in their bank account. Go buy you 20, 30 iPhones. Refund it back. Put it on your debit card. However you want to do it.